Hello people, my name is Malik. You are watching our YouTube channel Tech.Repair. We are going to replace the damaged, cracked, broken LCD display screen of iPhone 7 Plus, and we're also going to replace the battery as well. The customer saying his battery is faulty. It's in a pretty bad shape, but let's get into it, see the quickest we can replace it. So first of all, we need is the Pentalobe screwdriver, and we're just gonna take these bottom two screws, open them just like you put it straight, and then you just take them out. One is missing, we will replace it. So once you take these two screws, then you can use one of these Stanley blade. You can also use one of this Pry Tool. Okay, we'll apply this heat on the edges, maybe a couple of minutes up to the 100 degree. Once you finish that, we have this Stanley blade, so get it one of the corner tip just to lift a little bit frame. Use this plastic tool. Power off, make sure. Okay, once you do like this, make sure you give a bit of support underneath. You can use it anything to give it the screen bit of support, any bottle or anything, so you don't give a stretch to these. Now we're gonna open this section. So we're gonna open these. They are tri-point screws, so you need a tri-point screwdriver. They are not Phillips head. Couple of screws are already missing. There should be a screw here as well. Just open these screws. Now remove this plate. Looks like these screws are missing. So they does happen in the iPhones because the Taptic engine, the vibrator it does very fast, so it loses the screws very less, but you will see that the screws are out, but they could be in different sections. Once you disconnect that, we are going to disconnect the battery. You can use one of these tools. You can use one of these plastic tool to disconnect the battery. This is your battery connector. Open it very carefully, a little bit bend it. Once you do that, disconnect the screen and pull it a little bit down. When you pull a little bit down, then we're gonna open these screws. There are three screws. One screw here, there's one screw here and one screw here, but they are missing. Could be, let's say it was fixed or repaired before, nothing to worry. Now just very careful, disconnect this connector. Okay, like this. So I would just maybe see, sometime you'll see the screws comes out. Okay, there's one screw is here, that's supposed to be here. Okay, so now we are going to open all these. So now at this point we need is a Phillips head screwdriver. Remove this metal bracket plate, leave it on the side. A little bit lift this front camera, take the upper earpiece speaker out, put it here. Now we are going to remove this camera, but we are going to apply a heat here. It probably will gonna take you a couple of minutes, 100, 105, 110 degree heat. But on this side, you can use a hair dryer. You can use that sort of straight, and we are gonna remove this very carefully. It looks like fixed previously, so it doesn't generally comes that there, but you keep it like this. See, there is a black speaker mesh. We need to remove this. I'm gonna apply some heat here. Okay, so very carefully. This is a part of the screen, because the screen is damaged at that point, so that came with it, but we don't really need this one because that would be already on the new screen. So very carefully, upper camera, we leave it on the side. Okay, now we are going to open these screws. The screws are holding the back side of your home button. Now this is the most tricky part. You need to apply a little bit 100-degree heat, just a 3-4-5 seconds. Okay, once you apply this heat, you need a tool like this, and very carefully disconnect connector like this. Okay, again, once it's connected like this, you just don't go too deep in, just a little bit touch it and remove it. But before you do that, make sure you apply the heat. Once you disconnect it, then you apply the back side of this, maybe another minute or two, a heat, 100-degree heat. You can use a hair dryer. Now we're gonna remove the home button. Very careful, this is the most delicate part because you don't want to. There is a little connector, you need to pull it and hold it like this. You have a Pry Tool like this, go this edge, absolutely keep it straight very slowly. Make sure you put the pressure on the screen, don't let it slip, and you need to keep it straight. This is a trick, like not lifting up, just keep going like this underneath, and especially kind of you have an angle like this side, not facing up, going facing down, because it can go malfunction. So once you remove this, just little tip, lift it very careful and place it wherever is safe. Now we are going to take this plate off. You need again tri-point, magnetic tri-point screwdriver. They are not Phillips head screwdrivers, so do not try to attempt to open with Phillips head. So there are 1 2 3 4 3 on one side and 1 2 on this side. Now remove this plate. There is a Phillips head one screw. And place them. So keep all in the sequence. Don't mix all the screws together. Whatever the part you remove, keep the screws together with that part. So once has been removed, we have done this. This is our new LCD display screen, fully tested. This is how it comes. Put like this. So once you place here like this, so on this side, that IC need to be a little bit on the top of the plate, not going under the plate, has to be on the top. Once you do that, we're gonna put these screws. So these are the screws we had removed. Okay. This is tri-point magnetic screwdriver we are going to use. They are not the Phillips head. We put one here. But I'm holding the screen very firmly. I'm not putting any pressure anywhere. I don't want to damage LED, but you have no choice. You have to hold it like this, but you need to be holding it very firmly. You don't put the pressure here, especially don't put any pressure here, because this is your all the LED and the connectors are going from there. So make sure they are balanced and they are like together like this, these connectors. Okay, so we're just gonna put this screws back. So we have 3 screws on this side, we have 1, and we need to put another screw on this side. Okay, so at that point we can put the home button. This is your home button, goes from the bottom. Okay, so there is a plastic film, so you open it, put it from the bottom. When you feed it here, let the plastic go, and this plastic sheet will hold the home button like this. And at this point we are just going to make a balance straight. At this point there's a little connector underneath, which is part of the screen. So there is a little kind of hole, you will see it. This will sit here. This connector goes first, the one comes with the LCD screen, and this is a connector of the home button, which you need to connect it both together. It's gonna take you kind of bit of struggle here, but don't press too hard, just very firmly. Okay, so now we are going to put this plate back. This is a Phillips head screw. One screw is a Phillips head, which comes from here. The rest, then the other screws are tri-point. Okay, now we are going to put the upper earpiece speaker and the front camera. This is a one part together. Before we do that, we need is adhesive glue. Put it here. Like this at that point. Then you're gonna hold this, place this camera, front camera like that. Okay, like this. Now you have this front camera. This is, you will see there are kind of little molds, brackets, so precisely these things goes into that. So you have upper earpiece speaker, it goes like this. Then you put the front camera on the top like this. Okay, and now you have this metal bracket which we had removed earlier on the top like this. Okay, now we're gonna put all these screws. The screws, when we were removing them, make sure you put them in the sequence that screws stay here, that screws stay here, because do not mix them up. They are all different dimensions, their sizes are different. Okay, so that's fitted perfect. We have done the front camera, upper earpiece speaker, we have done this. LCD is all panel is ready to be installed now, and now we also have to replace the battery. So you have to apply little heat up to 100°, maybe about 1 minute. We have to very carefully remove these stripes and make sure they are not too hot. Just pull them very firmly, very carefully. Don't go too hard on it. There we go. So that comes out like this. Then we are going to try the middle one. These are 3 stripes. So iPhone 7 and 8 Plus is pretty much the same procedure to do it. It's no difference. Only the screws maybe could have been different. So that's the middle stripe. And now we are going to try to remove the third one. Okay, now we have removed these 3 stripes. Okay, so we have removed the battery. This is a new battery. So we have put these 2 stripes, 3 comb, and very carefully, you don't want to make a hole or poke or pin into this battery. Just remove the top part and leaving the adhesives underneath. Okay, so it'll be like that, these 2 adhesives. Now before you put this battery, you just don't put the battery first, you connect the connector first. Okay, and hold the connector and then place the battery. Then you need to adjust the connector. Sometimes sits perfectly, and there we go. Okay, so connector first and then the battery, you just pin it like this. Now we are just going to disconnect the battery because we have to connect the new screen. So make sure you put your marks or some job reference number of anything you replace. No. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to connect this LCD screen. Before you do that, we have to connect the front camera, this ribbon. So this ribbon goes sort of this way. Make sure you don't pull too much, like this, and just bring it like this point, bottle, just to give it a support. And we have it like this, so there is enough space. Now we are going to put this plate covering the ribbon connector, and we are going to use is tri-point. There are 3 screws, so it's a tri-point screwdriver. So there's a 3 screws goes in there. Okay, and that's it. This is the plate we have put it on. Now we are going to connect this LCD connector like this, and we gonna give this support like this. Now we're gonna put this battery connector, and this metal bracket plate goes on the top of that. There is a bit of longer screw, and that longer screw goes on the right here. Hold it like this, press the bottom one this corner, then press this corner, and hope you like the video. Please do subscribe, press the bell icon, every little help. Thanks for watching and see you soon.